Okay, so now you have the idea of what one-point perspective is, and let's kind of broaden this out a little bit to we're going to make our name. And so the exercise here is you're going to draw the same horizon line, and now you're going to draw in block letters your name, one part of the letter on top of the other part of the letter. In terms of thickness or this depth of how far back those letters go, that's the exercise. Not necessarily the block letters, but we're going to work on making those black letters look like they're like popping out of the from the horizon line, or they're just big bulky letters just sitting on the ground. And so with that, let's look at one point perspective with your name. So the next thing that we drew using one point perspective was a little more challenging. And so what the homework assignment was, I wanted them to draw their name in a perspective using one point perspective. And so here's what this looks like. So again, we start off with our horizon line or our eye line, putting it anywhere you want to. I'm going to put mine right there. So that is my eye line, my horizon line. I asked the students to go ahead and write their name in block letters, and I'll show you what that looks like, and made sure that the top half of the letter is on one side and the bottom half is on the other, making sure that the letters cross this horizon line. So I'm going to draw, write my name, and we'll do it this way. So I'm going to start off with lightly the letter S, all caps, that makes it easier. S-T-E-V-E. I've just blown to my cover. My name is Steve, Mr. Alberts Steve. All right, so this is what it's going to look like. So now you notice I didn't put the point in here yet because I haven't decided where I want. I'd like my name to be there, and I think I'm going to decide to put my point right here. So I've got my name, I've got the horizon line, my eye line, I've got my letters. So now I'm going to make these block letters, and right now there's no perspective yet. All I'm doing is doing block letters. Block letters are hard, takes a little bit of practice. I've done block letters for a while, so this is going to look easier for me than it would for some. That's okay, that's what practice is all about. Talking to the students about putting forth considerable effort to art. Art is not something that comes easy to anybody, and it takes practice, and it takes intentionality when it comes to drawing things that are hard. So the block letters are hard. They really are. So if they get frustrated with it, that's okay. Your reward is the effort. It is not actually whether or not you make a good piece of art. It is that your effort paid off. All right, so there's my block letters. Now comes the perspective. So now I look at here's my point, and now I'm taking, just like with the other drawing, with the tops of the object and the tops of the object and the bottom of the objects. You draw a line from the top down to that one point perspective. I'm going to do the same thing here with all these letters. So I'm going to start off with the S, and I'm going to draw through the letters. Okay, so it's going to be a mess of lines and stuff through the letters. So here's the top down to the point. Bottom up to the point. And I'm going to do this for every time there's a corner or there's some kind of edge that's made. So here's the corner of my letter. So I'm going to do this. There. And there's another corner right here. And I'm drawing from there to there. The temptation is to not draw through the lines. If you don't, then sometimes you're going to actually get messed up about what line is what. It happens all the time. Okay, so let's just work on the S, and then we'll go on through to the rest of the name. So now we've got all the perspective lines going off into one point for the S. Now I've asked the students to kind of decide on their own where they want, how thick they want their letters to be, meaning how far in terms of this perspective, how far back do they want it to go? And it's up to them. If they want to go all the way back, they can. If they want to go just this thick, then they can do that. If they want to go here. And so when they're drawing for their thickness, it's up to them, but now is the skill for them to be able to replicate lines. And we talked about that when we did the face vases, to be able to take a line and determine its mirror shape. The same thing here is this, except it's not quite mirrored. It's going to be the same. So this is how thick I decided it to be. So about 1/4 of an inch thick. So I'm going to decide here and do 1/4 of an inch out here. Here's the other thing, 1/4 of an inch out here, 1/4 of an inch out here. Now I'm just kind of guesstimating, and now you work at mimicking this curve. May take a couple tries. So now I'm mimicking this curve. And I'm going to mimic this curve. Okay. Now here, 1/4 of an inch out to here. I'm going to mimic this curve. This takes some practice. So it's okay if they don't get it the first time, or if you're even, as a parent, you're looking at this going, what is going on? I don't get it. Just take a look, rewind it, and take a look at what I'm doing. It takes a little bit to know what's going on. All right? Or they can make it thicker. Doesn't matter. They can go as thick as they want, all the way there. I'm going to choose here. Right? Okay. So that's the S. Let's do the T. You may want to be able to say, okay, how about this? You do the S first, then erase all the perspective lines and do the T next. You can certainly do that because it'll help with all these lines, I'm sure. So that is fine too. I'm choosing not to do that just because I don't want to spend some time erasing. All right, so I've got the height going to the bottom, got the bottom, the height going to the point, the bottom going to the point, and now I'm taking all these corners of the letter and I'm going to take the corners to this point. All right, so I got corner, got one corner here. Let's see if it's visible, and it is. So I'm just going to do that. Right? Okay, so now we have here, got all this done. Okay, now I want to make the same thickness. If I'd like, I can make them different thicknesses. I'm going to choose not to. So about 1/4 of an inch. It's a little bit more. 1/4 of an inch here, and 1/4 of an inch coming down here like that. Let's see how it's working. All right, now let's go to the E. Let's do the bottom of the letter and work it up. Oops. Ruler moved on me. All right, now top of the letter, bring it on down. All right. I'm trying to go too fast here, so I'm actually messing up. All right, so now I got the bottom of the letter going to the line. Now we're doing all these corners. So corner here, here. A lot of corners there. So let's start off with this corner and take it on down to the line. This one's hidden, so you're probably not going to draw that one. What I mean by hidden is that if you were to draw it, it's actually being covered by your front face. So you don't need to draw that way. And there, that's just straight across. And here to here, and here to here. And again, want to do about 1/4 of an inch or so. So doing that. Do that, and here I'm just going on down here. Now this is easy because now I can take this, come down here, and come across. Now again, if you would like to do one letter at a time and erase these, then you can do that. I'm choosing not to so that I can show you all the way through. Okay, but you can certainly decide to do that on your own, make it easier for you because you got more time than I do. All right, so now we're moving into the letters that are moving on this side of the line. So now it's just going to go towards this. Very simple. Same idea. Top of the letter. Bring it on down. Bottom of the letter. Bring it on up. Okay, and then look at the corners. This corner is going to be hidden. This corner is going to be hidden. This one not so much. So let's draw a line to this corner. Match it up to that point and draw it on through. So we got that. That was easy. V's are easy. Now we got the E, the last E here. Bottom of the letter. Draw it on through. Top of the letter. Draw it on through. Now look here. So corner, that's going to be hidden. Let's see if this one is. That one's not, so go ahead and draw there. Like that. This one's probably going to be hidden to some degree. This one's not, so I'm going to draw this one. Bring it on through, and everything else will be hidden. So back to that 1/4 inch here. So 1/4 inch for the V, matching this line here, that front face of the V, and now matching this line. 1/4 inch there, and now 1/4 inch here. 1/4 inch actually goes into this V, so it's going to be hidden by the V now. So I'm going to do it here, and 1/4 inch out this way, like that, and 1/4 inch out this way, like that. All right, so there it is. So now here you can use any color that you'd like. You can use your colored markers if you want. And so now you're going to ink. Best thing to do is go ahead and ink those letters that you know that you want. If you make a mistake, that is okay. Life is not over. You just find a way to disguise it somehow. And maybe by the time I'm done here, I'll make some kind of mistake and show you what that looks like to disguise it. So now I'm drawing this. I'm not drawing my perspective lines, remember, because I want to erase those later on.
There's my S.
If you're a student or you are afraid of drawing without a ruler, you can do that. I'm not, because again, I don't want to make this video too long. Make each letter a different color, maybe. That'd be kind of fun. Use texture. Use some tones. Okay. So this is what we did with the class while the volleyball team was still in class. So for those of you that are in volleyball, this is all going to look familiar. And there we go. Alright, so there is that. And I'm going to go ahead and draw my horizon line to help kind of give that idea that there's something there. That these letters are actually sitting on the ground of some kind. And now I'm going to take my eraser and I'm going to erase all of those light perspective lines. It's a great way to learn how to, haha, I made a mistake. I believe. You guys see what my mistake? Those of you that saw it, I'll correct it. This happens a lot too when you're doing this kind of things, is that you forget to actually draw a line. And I forgot to draw a line. So here's where and I'm just going to go ahead and use my marker and go straight onto the drawing like that. All right, there it is. 1 point perspective. It all goes down to 1 point. And now color it in, do some designs on it. If you're courageous, put some shadows on there. Make them look like they're sitting on the ground of some kind. Like that. Boom. There it is. Do the sky or something like that. So that was the homework. So the homework is 1 point perspective, and your name in block letters. Make sure the letters go on top, go above the horizon line and below the horizon line. And if your name is really long, just turn the paper this way and do it this way. Have fun with this. This is a lot of fun. So 1 point perspective. Let's go on to 2 point perspective now.